Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fun Time Youth Bowling. I'm Ray Bartle, alongside PBA Hall of Famer Doug Kent, and today is graduation day here on Fun Time Youth Bowling. I know we're a few weeks early, Doug, for graduation itself, but today we are highlighting 12 of our graduating seniors in the Rochester area.
Ray, we've got a great show today, a lot of great talent. Emily Nodebart, Melanie Copey, Bryce Hook, Emma Catone, just to name a few. Many who just came back from the state finals a couple months ago. They all have great physical games, and many of them have 300 games to their credit already.
Well, I'm looking forward to some great matches and some very high scoring today. And we'll be back with our first match right after this. Welcome back, everybody, and here we go with our very first match on senior weekend. Today's match, our first match, is Emma Catone against Elizabeth Natoli.
And Emma Catone bowls out of Clover Lanes. Proprietor Dave Meyer is the general manager. Very nice. And the youth coordinator, Cindy Burnett.
Both bowlers came in working on strikes in the 7th frame.
Yeah, this is going to be a good match, Ray.
There's 7 frames separating our bowlers. Elizabeth has 121 in the 6th working on a strike.
Oh.
Bad break.
Tough break. A little nerves there on the first shot on TV for Elizabeth Natoli. Bowls out of Roseland Bowl. Jack Moran is the proprietor out there. John Barkley is the youth director. Both bowlers here have really, really good games, Ray.
Both very
Good
solid.
Look at this.
Oh,
good try. Very close.
Okay, that gives Elizabeth 147 in the 8th. Emma has 128 in the 6th, working on a double. That looks pretty good.
Another good shot. Very nice. Oof. Wow, what a game she has, Ray.
Emma started with a double. She went 9 spare, 9 spare, strike, 9 spare, and now she's working on a turkey. That's better.
Good shot there. Good shot.
Little light. Could have carried. 2-pin went to the wall and cut back in front of the 7-pin.
Earlier this year, Emma Catone got up in the 10th frame at sectionals and needed all 3 in the 10th for her team to win sectionals, and got up and labeled all 3 of them. Incredible finish for her team. Great under pressure. Very good spare. Good spare. What's our score looking like, Ray?
Well, Lizzie has 147 in the 8th, working on a spare in the 9th. Again, Emma has 128 in the 6th, working on a turkey as she heads to the 10th frame. It's got a chance again.
Looks good.
Rips the rack. What a game this is. Double, 9 spare, 9 spare, strike, 9 spare, 4 in a row.
She got 9 shots in the pocket, Ray. 158 in the 7th with a double. Definitely.
It's been interesting to see what she actually left in her frames that she broke for 9. As you know, our bowlers bowl 7 frames in our home bowling center. They come here to TV and they bowl their final 3 frames. There's another good shot.
Great balance, good shot. How about those shots?
Well, how about that? Our first senior show of the new bowling era, and she's got strikes every frame.
Possible 248 for Emma. With a strike on the fill here, she'll have 248. Look at that knee bend.
Put it in the books.
Follow through, everything's perfect there. Look
Put
at
it in the books. 248. What a great game.
What a great finish for Emma.
Well, she was nervous before she came on TV. She's not nervous now. 5 solid strikes. Oh.
One thing I noticed just by watching these two bowlers, Ray, is look at their fundamentals. They all have great arm swings. Their follow-throughs are great. Their balance is good at the end.
Well, part of that
is great to see.
Part of the great coaching that we have in the Rochester area.
It sure is. We have a lot of great coaches in the Rochester area for sure. Good spare, good spare.
You know, we talk about sportsmanship and we talk about good bowling, and there's Emma, you know, all strikes on TV, 248. She's sitting on the bench and she's cheering for Lizzie.
Yep, yep, isn't it great?
That's what the game is all about.
Yeah, it's like that, like junior gold too. When these kids go to junior gold, I mean, they got each other's backs. They cheer for one another. They help each other.
185 for Elizabeth from Roseland Bowl. Well, that concludes our very first match. Emma Catone, all strikes on TV, all 5, 248 to Elizabeth Natoli's 185. What a great show. And we'll be back with our next match right after this.
This portion of Fun Time Youth Bowling is brought to you by Lair Air.
Welcome back, everybody, and we're going to move right on to our second match. And our boys division is between Dennis DeTal and Luke Peters.
Yes, Dennis bowls out of AMF Dewey Garden Lanes, General Manager Tom Devine, and the youth directors Heidi Woolidge and Kathy Hook. A good shot right out of the gate. Very good, wow.
Nothing but strikes so far today, mostly. This is Luke Peters. Luke has 137 in the 6th. He's working on a strike.
Wow, is there some talent on this show, Ray?
Quite. All
right, first look at Luke Peters. Bowls out of Empire Lanes. Pete McCracken, General Manager, and Molly Copey runs the youth leagues at Empire Lanes. Good shot. Just a little light,
Just didn't make the little curve there. Didn't make it up the hill, as they say.
Sometimes that first shot on TV is just a little different.
No, this is all new to these kids.
Once you settle down just a little bit.
You said Luke bowls out of Empire Lanes. He has 2 300 games to his credit. High series 767.
Nice spare.
Okay, that gives Luke 157 in the 7th. Dennis has 152 in the 7th. Dennis is working on a strike. Luke is working on a spare. 5 pins separating our bowlers.
Got a hook. Oh, good shot, good shot. Ring and 10.
Seems like he lost it a little bit at the bottom of his swing, but he stayed with it. There's that follow through you were talking about earlier, staying with the shot. 6 pin, wrapping around that.
Bowling has come a long way in the last 20 years, Ray. It's amazing to see the releases, the power they generate now. Their physical games are great. Oh. Just missed a little right on that shot.
Well, as you said a couple weeks ago when we were talking, you know, the game itself has changed so much. The equipment, you know, the kids come, they have 4 or 5 bowling balls now, where 20 years ago they had 1 bowling ball. Wow. You know, a lot of kids used to come to the Fun Time show with house balls from the bowling centers that they were representing. Right. There's a great shot.
Right. And I also think too, Ray, that the coaching at all the various centers have gotten so much better.
There's some great coaching in the Rochester area. And,
well, they're starting at such a younger age now and developing skills at a younger age that now look at them when they get to high school. Look at the talent level they're at now when they get to high school. Look at that.
That's a good shot.
Good shot.
Nice
10
solid.
straight back again.
Dennis is 180 in the 9th. Strike first ball in the 10th. He's going to strike out, force Luke to at least mark in the 10th frame.
Yeah, this one's coming down to the final shots for sure, especially if he gets this one right here. Dennis's high game is 300. Dennis has also earned over $4,000 in scholarship money.
It adds up quick.
Sure does. Well, that makes it interesting right there.
Yep.
It's going to be in the 190s.
Dennis has one
Count
300
here.
game to his credit. He bowled that when he was 13 years old. His high series, 797. He used a Bandit today. Luke was using a Frantic.
All right. Not much you can do there other than get to 2.
198 for Dennis.
198 for Dennis.
So all Luke will need is some kind of count here.
Yep, pretty much stay behind the foul line and hit the one in the front, as we say.
Luke's coach is Rich Ferraro at Empire Lanes. Dennis's coach was Dick Zimmer.
You know, something else that's changed so much too, Ray, is when I was a junior bowler, I mean, we pretty much just bowled, you know, once a week, maybe twice a week. You look at some of these kids and how much they practice. They're practicing 5 days a week, 6 days a week with a coach. You know, they're not on their own.
And they're bowling more than they do when we were kids. I mean, when we were kids, we had Saturday morning junior bowling, and then eventually we had travel that came around. We didn't have the YBTs, the JBTs, all the tournaments,
Right,
the scholarship tournaments.
Yeah, look at that shot. Just a hair light.
Oh, almost rolled the 2-pin. 226 with the spare. We were saying that Dennis bowls out at Dewey Gardens, where his coach was Dick Zimmer, and Dick just announced his retirement a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great?
Retiring from Greece Athena after 14 years as the
How about that
the
stat
coach
too, Ray? 14 years as a coach, 13 sectional titles.
That's amazing. And 2 state titles.
2 state titles.
Well, that concludes our match today. Dennis DeTal, 198. Luke Peters, 226. Another great match and some fine bowling. And we'll be back with our next match right after this. Okay, welcome back, everybody. As we head into match 3, we're back with the ladies. Victoria Merkel from Gates Lanes and Elizabeth Dolan from Clover Lanes.
And Victoria pulls out of Gates. GM is Shirley Merkel. Ouch. Youth coordinator there is Russ Pratt. Look at our scoreboard, Ray.
What a game these two
Oh
young
my
ladies have
God,
gone.
look at the scores. Look at the strikes.
Victoria started out with the first 4 strikes, 9 spare, double. Coming into frame 8. First frame. Left
Bounce it out.
split. Oh.
Almost. Elizabeth has 138 in the 6th with a spare and a 7th.
Elizabeth started out 3 strikes, 9 spare, 9 spare, strike, 9 spare.
Both bowlers coming up late on their first. Elizabeth coming up late on her first shot. Victoria went a little high on her first shot.
You know, again, a little nerves first ball.
Yeah, first jerk.
You know, they threw the ball great in practice.
Nerves on that first
I think
shot.
Victoria threw hers just a little too slow compared to what she was doing in practice. Elizabeth looks like she lost it a little bit. She rolled that one much better.
Elizabeth
Perfect.
has a high game of 249 and a high series of 616. We'll see if we can get Victoria on track here. Get back on track.
So that gives Elizabeth 154 in the 7th with a spare in the 8th. 181.
Nice shot.
Much better.
There we go. There we go.
A little bit more ball speed makes all the difference in the world. I think her first shot was just a little slow compared to what she was
Victoria,
doing
high
in
game
practice.
of 278 and a high series of 710. Elizabeth, there we go.
Well, this is going to be a dogfight right to the finish here.
Just had to get those jitters out of the way. And
7 pins separating our bowlers, both on strikes as we head to the 10th.
Victoria is throwing a Storm Lucid on today's show. Full fingertip grip. Good arm swing.
Oh!
There we go.
Trips it out.
Very good. And Elizabeth.
Those are the kind of breaks you
Up in our
need.
10th frame. She got 174 in the 8th, striking the 9th. Possible 234. Victoria is going to finish her 10th first here. She got a possible 241 if she strikes out.
She gets this strike, she basically shuts Elizabeth out.
Victoria is going to be attending Corning Community College after she graduates.
So if Victoria can get the spare shoot 229, Elizabeth can strike out for 234. So either way, Elizabeth is going to at
Great
least
finish in the 10th frame here.
need a double in the 10th.
Looks good. Good spare. 229 for Victoria.
Elizabeth is going to need a double. Ooh, whips the rack.
Shot.
Whips the
All
rack.
right. Elizabeth with a possible 234.
I noticed on Victoria's bio sheet at the bottom, Doug, she said she was first introduced to bowling by Shannon O'Keefe. And she was her very first bowling instructor. Of course, Shannon.
Elizabeth is going to be attending Boston College, studying
Hurry,
biology.
hurry.
Nice shot.
So with a spare, that'll give her 223. Victoria always at 229.
Ray, both girls bowling way over their average today. Both had great games. Elizabeth averaging 186. Victoria averaging 194.
223. Well, that was another exciting
Very good
match. And
match.
scores
Very
just
good
keep
match.
getting higher and higher and higher as we go along. I can't wait till the next match. And we'll be back with that match right after this.
I'm here with all 6 of our seniors from today's matches, and Emma Catone was one of our winners. Emma, you threw all 5 strikes today on TV. How did that feel?
It was pretty exciting. I thought I was going to leave a 10 pin in the last shot of the 10th frame, so I was pretty excited when I didn't leave that.
Yeah, that's always good, huh?
Yeah.
And Luke Peters was one of our other winners. And Luke, you were a little nervous, maybe your first shot on TV today?
Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking, the first shot, being the first televised event, but it was kind of just like rolling the first frame, the last frame of the 300 game, where you just gotta roll the ball, get through it, and then you'll be fine.
Absolutely. All right, we will be right back with our Average Builders Tip of the Week.
And now, this week's Beginners to Pros tip, hosted by PBA Hall of Famer Doug Kent.
Hi, I'm Doug Kent with another Average Builder Tip of the Week. Today we're going to talk about the arm swing. And there are 3 steps to follow to having a good, consistent arm swing. Number 1, your arm swing needs to be loose and free when you push the ball off. And number 2, your push off needs to be in line with your target that you're looking at. And number 3, your backswing needs to be slightly inside when the ball comes back past your leg. This will keep your ball on line through your target and you'll see your scores go up. I'm Doug Kent, and this has been another Average Builder Tip of the Week.
Okay, welcome back, everybody, to the second half of our show. Larry Winky from Dewey Gardens with Tristan Dodson from Clover Lanes.
And our first look at Tristan from Clover Lanes. Some good scores today, Ray.
It just amazes me that the strikes that these young people are throwing.
Again, I think they need to get that opening shot out of the way. And
well, they've been sitting for a while, you know, no practice.
Yeah.
They got a couple of practice balls, but they've been sitting for a while. And
a little off balance on that one, but
again, they bowl 7 frames in a whole bowling center. They come here, they bowl 3 frames on TV. Tristan started out 3 strikes, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, strike. 7 spare.
Very good spare. Tristan's got a high game of 300, high series of 760. These are big numbers, Ray. These are big numbers these kids are shooting.
I remember back in the day when you bowled 600 and you were a hero. You had your picture on the front page of the newspaper.
You had a revolutions there. Larry Winky out of Dewey Gardens. General Manager Tom Devine and Youth Coordinator Kathy Hook and Heidi Woolidge. Larry's averaging 220, Ray.
That's not really what my blood pressure is. 220, wow.
All right. Tristan
Larry started
again.
out 9 spare, strike, 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 9 spare, strike, and no.
Another good shot there.
10 pins straight back. That gives Tristan 177 in the 8th frame, strike in the 9th. Larry Winky has 177 in the 8th frame. Well, if he can strike here or mark, we're at least tied. Well, here we go. Both bowlers, 177 through 8, and a strike in the 9th.
Possibility of a tie, Ray. Our first tie of the year.
If they tie, we'll bowl the best 2 out of 3. Because I'm stay here and bowl.
I do like the PBA Tour doesn't have a 1-ball sudden death roll off. Wow, good shot.
Well,
you know, these kids don't get this good by accident, Ray. They're practicing 4, 5, 6 times a week.
they're bowling 2 or 3 times. They bowl, you know, they bowl high school, they bowl junior bowling, they bowl travel on Saturdays. They got tournaments on Sundays. They,
There's so many opportunities now. Look at this. Look at the pin action. That is just power right there, Ray. Pure power right there. A lot of speed.
Flying across the deck.
A lot of speed, high rev rates. Pins just dance. Looks like the guys on tour the way they throw it. Tristan's averaging 224. Here's a good stat. Tristan has made over $28,000 in scholarship money already.
Well, there's one great finish. 237 for Tristan. So Larry needs to strike out to force a roll-off.
Looks good, too.
Oh,
solid
no.
9. I don't think there's any worse way of losing a match other than a solid 9 and a solid 8.
You can't throw much better than that.
What are you going to do? It's
all the power that they put on the ball in the revolutions, the ball just cut right through, cut right in front of the 9 pin.
And that's the penalty nowadays for all the revolutions that they put on these balls.
Well, the equipment.
Balls cut through so sharp now, they create so much angle that the ball goes right by the 9 pin now. The ball used to hit the 9 pin. Now it goes right by
the 9 out. Yep.
Larry's going to be attending Brockport after graduation.
217. So we had 9 strikes out of a possibility with 1 open frame. 237 for Tristan Dotson, 217 for Larry Winkie. What a great game.
Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, the talent he shows these last few matches have been unbelievable, right?
Well, we'll be back with the girls right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody, and here we go with our ladies. Today we have Emily Notebart from Clover Lanes, bowling Melanie Copey from AMF Empire Lanes. And this is Melanie Copey leading us off.
And Ray, looking at the scoreboard right out of the gate here, Melanie Copey has a possible 279 game. Oh, a little soft, just a little soft.
Again, that happened in one of our earlier matches when one of the girls came back and their very first ball she threw, she was just a little slow.
Yep.
Tentativeness, first ball on TV.
Well, it's the one thing you can't do with this new technology, the new equipment nowadays is your mistake can't be soft. These balls are so aggressive now that they'll hook sharp and go through the nose on you.
Yeah, they don't stop like our balls used to. Well, that gives Melanie 185 in the 8th. And this is Emily Notebart from Clover Lanes. Emily's working on a double.
Good shot. A little high, a little left. Just a hair left off her hand. First shot's on TV again. Just a little jitters. We'll make some adjustments here. We'll be right back in the pocket on the next shot, I'm sure. Both of these ladies, Ray, both have bowled 300 games. Emily's high series 796.
That's just incredible.
Isn't it amazing? And Melanie's high series 756. Melanie's averaging 215. Emily's average right now 240. How incredible is that? There's a good shot. There we go. Very good shot.
The thing about Emily is it's not a fluke either, Doug. I mean, she's averaging almost 240 everywhere she goes. Yeah. She's averaging that in traveling. She averaged it in high school. In sectionals at Gates, she averaged 240 for 6 games.
She has a very simple game. I mean, it's a very compact game. Great, nice straight swing. Just look at the finish. It's incredible. How can he not hit the pocket all the time?
Here it comes.
Good shot. Messenger just misses. You know, it goes back to coaching at younger ages, at early age in their career, and they've learned the good fundamentals. As they develop, the good fundamentals turn into higher scores.
Emily works with Ray DeSanto as her coach.
Ray's been around a long time.
He knows the game inside
been a
out.
student of the game for many years. Great ball driller too.
And he was a great bowler also. Here you go again. We came back after the break. First ball just a little bit soft through the nose. Left herself a split.
These are 2 girls here, Ray, that have already signed on to colleges, full ride scholarships. Emily Notebart's going to Sam Houston State University, great bowling program. And Melanie's going to Maryland Eastern Shore. You know, national titles. I mean, both going to great systems.
That's just simply amazing. I mean, watching some of these kids bowl, Doug, is almost like going to the training center in Texas, and they put the ball in the little robot thing and they throw it down the lane. It does the same thing every time. And
they're machines. Look at them. They're machines.
It just amazes me.
They get up on the approach. They know what they're going to do, and they go up and they execute. Just great shot makers. Look at the fundamentals when they go through a shot. Look at that. Follow throughs.
Oh.
That's pretty.
244.
244. What a game.
9 strikes out of a possible 12.
Another good shot. There we go.
You know, again, it's a little tough. You bowl 7 frames in your home bowling center. You come here, you have to wait a while, and you don't really get a lot of practice. And the next thing you know, you're out there throwing balls. But I guarantee you that if she was to bowl another 1 or 2 games, full game, she'd get lined up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They know how to make the adjustments. They know how to move. They know how to change equipment if they have to. And they don't get themselves in trouble. Simple game. Great knee bend. Look at that follow through. That's
as good as it gets right there.
You know, it's like the old Statue of Liberty play in football where they tell you to hold your form. And she gets there and she's solid as a rock, no waver.
Yep. And for those of you who are watching the shows, watch what they do. Watch their mechanics. Look at their follow throughs. Look at their balance. Look at their arm swings. You can pick up a lot of great things just from watching these two. Oh, solid 9.
Yeah. We just talked about that in the last match. So
game.
much power, the ball just cut right through the rack and left the 9 pin. Unbelievable. 199 for Emily Nonabart, 244 for Melanie Copey. And we'll be back with our final match of the day right after this. Well, here we go, Doug. We're back with our very last match of our senior show today. This is Kenny Peacock versus Bryce Hook. And this is Bryce Hook from Dewey Garden Lanes.
Ray, these two guys are exciting to watch. They strike a lot when they get it going. There they go.
Just like that.
Here we go.
We have 13 300 games between these two bowlers. Kenny has 7 of them. Bryce has 6 of them. Bryce has a high series of 832. Kenny has a high series of 821.
Watch this high backswing. He's got a super high backswing, generates a lot of power, a lot of revolutions, and the pins dance when he hits them. Boom!
There it comes.
Look at him flying. Kenny Peacock's already earned over $2,000 in scholarship money. And he missed pretty much almost all last year due to an injury. He was in a 4-wheeler accident.
He had a very serious injury.
And,
I think there was
nice to see him recover. Back to bowling again and throwing it well as usual. Got a hook. Oh.
Wow.
That's an example right there of how much angle these balls create right there. You see a lot more pocket 710s nowadays because the ball's coming in behind the head pin a little too far.
And what happens? The 5 pin cuts in front of the 10 and then comes back across the lane?
Yeah, in front.
And misses both pins in front.
Yep. It's just power. The pins fly up in the air more now than pins don't stay as low as they used to. Like, well, they stay low when we throw it.
Yeah.
But when they throw it, the pins are flying everywhere.
When my ball hits like that, I leave the 5 with the 710.
The lily. That would be the lily. Or the sour apple. All right.
The sour apple.
Kenny Peacock.
Working on a double.
Look at that. Hold it. A little high, a little high. Bryce Hook 195 in the 9th frame. Kenny Peacock with a spare here. We'll have 183 in the 8th.
This match is going to go right down to the wire too, as almost all of our matches have done today.
Kenny Peacock, 225 average, 7 300 games, 821 high series.
That's a career for a lot of bowlers.
It is.
I mean, even with the scores the way they are today, I mean, there's people that don't have that amount of 700 or 300. Sorry.
Kenny's going to be going to the University of Northwestern Ohio, majoring in auto mechanics.
Bryce is going to go to Brockport for Catone. Okay, so here's our scenario here. Bryce can strike out for 225. If he strikes out, he would force Kenny to double. Kenny's on a 223 pace.
Bryce is going to be attending Brockport. His coach was Dick Zimmer.
The great Dick Zimmer. 49 years he spent coaching kids in junior bowling.
And what a job he did.
Just recently retired from Greece Athena. Well, that sets up for a great finish here.
Bryce Hook with a possible 225.
8 pins would force Kenny to strike spare for a tie. 9 pins will force Kenny to double. We need 8 or better on this ball.
So a little right off his hand. It holds, good shot.
How about flush for 225? So Kenny needs a double. Anything less than a double, Bryce will be our winner.
Kenny Peacock's favorite professional bowler, Wes Malott. Multi-champion on the PBA Tour. Throws mainly Storm equipment. Looks good. All right. This next shot right here, Ray, strikes a winner.
He needs this for, he can strike out for 233.
I wonder if four-wheeling is still one of Kenny's hobbies. After his bad crash he had. Still enjoys hockey, baseball, pretty much into all sports. Oh, solid 4.
A little in off his hand. It held. Well, 9 spare will give him 223. Bryce is in the books at 225. I don't know what the combined scores are today, but I bet you these kids averaged probably 220 or better.
Yeah.
And all the kids that bowled today.
It just goes to show you the talent level we have in Rochester area. This is just 12 kids too.
9 spare, 223 for Kenny Peacock, 225 for Bryce Hook. And we'll be back to talk to our bowlers right after this.
I'm Chrissy Kent here with 6 more of our seniors today's show. And Tristan Dotson, you started out with 4 out of 5 strikes today on your first TV show. How did that feel?
It felt pretty good because I was pretty nervous, so I didn't really know what to expect. And then I just had the pin action, and it worked out for me well.
All right, great bowling. And Melanie Copey is going to be attending Maryland Eastern Shores. And how was your first time on TV today?
It was kind of nerve-wracking. It felt kind of like the 12th shot of your 300, but after you threw the first ball, it kind of melted away.
All right, well, best of luck to you guys.
Thank you.
And Bryce Hook, Bryce, you threw 3 shots in the 10th frame, all 3 strikes, to force your opponent, Kenny Peacock, to double in the 10th. How was that for you?
You know, I was trying to take it 1 shot at a time and just hope for a good match between me and Kenny. That's what we wanted, really, to make it close.
Congratulations to all of our seniors on the show today. We will be right back after this.
Welcome back, everybody. As Doug and I talked at the beginning of the show, we had a lot of talent and we had a lot of possibility of high scores. And our 12 seniors, they didn't disappoint us today. We had some great scoring. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors for giving us the opportunity to put this show back on the air. For Doug, Chrissy, and myself, till next time, go bowling!